Hello, hello. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven. We had two people in the room, and as soon as I came on, pop, zero. They watched the entrance and said, that was cool, but we're leaving now.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Friday. It's July 18th, 2025, and we're here. Myself and my co-host, Darth Hader himself.
Hello, hello.
And we're here to talk about a wonderful little film called Krull, 1983. I was 11. I guess you were around 10.
Yeah.
And it was just like this out of the ether, kind of like what you get when you cross D&D with Star Wars.
Right, yeah. This is a epic fantasy sci-fi thriller.
Yep.
And you either have fond memories of this movie, or you were like, that sucked, or you're like, Krull? What the hell was Krull?
I think the more people are like the latter, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. But let's go ahead and see what's going on with my computer here, because it's not wanting to do what it's supposed to do, of course. Why would we do that? I know why it's not. Stupid machine. We got so crazy doing other things. It didn't take the folders.
Uh-oh.
No problem. We got it.
They didn't upload?
Yeah, they didn't upload. They will in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes StreamYard has a mind of its own, and for whatever reason, it's like, nope, not going to let you upload that.
Alrighty, here we go. Alrighty, I'll let you go ahead and read it.
All right, this is Krull from 1983, directed by Peter Yates, written by Stanford Sherman, with additional work by Steve Tezik, uncredited, produced by Ron Silverman. Is that the actor Ron Silverman? I don't think so.
No, just the producer.
Starring Ken Marshall, Lisette Anthony, Hubba Hubba, Freddie Jones, Francesca Annis, Alun Armstrong, Liam Neeson, Robbie Coltrane, and Trevor Martin, among others. Production companies was Columbus Pictures, Barclays Mercantile Industrial Finance Ltd. Wow, that's a mouthful. Distributed by Columbia Pictures in the U.S., and it was distributed by Columbia EMI Warner in the UK. Release dates were July 29, 1983 in the US, and December 27, 1983 in the UK, with a running time of about 2 hours and 1 minute, a budget of $27 to $30 million. Box office was $16.9 million, only did USA and the UK, which is a crying shame.
Yeah, there's a real problem about that. They did have some in Canada, but the Canada box office was included in the U.S. box office. So,
okay. All right. Yeah, that's a crying shame.
But we'll get into that in just a little bit.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
All right, what it's about. A narrator tells a prophecy that a king and a queen will rule the world, and then their son will rule the galaxy. The planet Krull is invaded by an entity known as the Beast and his army of slayers who travel the galaxy in a mountain-like spaceship called the Black Fortress. Prince Cohen, and is it Cohen or Corin? Cowan. Okay. And Princess Lissa plan to marry in hopes that their two kingdoms combined forces can defeat the Beast army. However, the Slayers attack before the wedding is completed, devastating the native Krull armies, wounding Cohen, and kidnapping Lissa. Cohen is nursed back to health by Ynir, the Old One. Ynir tells Cohen that the beast can be defeated with the glaive, an ancient magical five-pointed weapon resembling a large throwing star with retractable blades that would cut your freaking hand off if it was real. Cullen retrieves the glaive from a cave and sets out, after sticking his hand in freaking lava, and sets out to find the Black Fortress, which teleports to a new location every sunrise. As they travel, Cohen and Ynir are joined by the magical Ergo the Magnificent, who is, short in stature, narrow of vision, wide of something or other, because short people need big names. And a band of 9 thieves and fighters, Torkel, Keegan, Rune, Oswin, Bardolph, and Minnow, Darrow, Nanog, and Quain. The Cyclops Rel later joins the group.
And this makes their group an unlucky 13, of course.
Of course. Cohen travels to the home of the Emerald Seer and his apprentice Titch. The Emerald Seer uses a crystal to view where the fortress will teleport next, but the beast remotely crushes the crystal with magic. The group travels to a swamp that the beast's magic cannot penetrate, but Darrow is lost to a Slayer attack and Minnow to quicksand. A changeling agent of the beast kills the Emerald Seer and assumes its victim's form, but the agent is discovered and killed by Rel and Cohen. Another changeling is instructed by the beast to seduce Cohen. This is meant to convince Lissa that Cohen does not love her. However, he rejects the changeling's advances, and Lissa witnesses this through a vision provided by the beast, affirms that love triumphs over might. The beast, though, forces her to consider marrying him so that he will halt the Slayer's attacks. Ynir leaves the group to seek the Widow of the Web, an enchantress who loved Ynir long ago and was exiled to the lair of the Crystal Spider for murdering their only child. What a bitch.
Oh, we'll get into that in a little bit.
As the Crystal Spider attacks the Widow, Ynir returns to the group to reveal the location of the Black Fortress in an epic scene. Black Fortress at sunrise in the Iron Desert. As he speaks, he loses the last of the sand and he dies. The group captures and rides magical fire mares to reach the Black Fortress. The Slayers at the fortress kill Rune, while Rel sacrifices himself to hold the door open, hold open the crushing spaceship doors long enough to allow the others to enter. Quain, Nanog, and Keegan are killed as they make their way through the fortress. Ergo transforms into an epic tiger to save Titch from a Slayer attack. Cohen, Torquil, and Bardolph and Oswin are trapped inside a large dome. 3 latter fall through an opening and are trapped between walls with huge studded spikes, which kill Bardolph as the others escape. Cohen breaches the dome and finds Lissa. He attacks the beast with the glaive, which becomes embedded in the beast's body. With nothing to defend themselves, Lissa and Cohen quickly finish their wedding ritual. This gives them the power to control fire, which Cohen slays the beast with. The beast's death frees Torquil and Oslin, and they rejoin Cohen, Lissa, Ergo, and Titch. The survivors make their way out of the crumbling fortress, which is pulled back into space. As the heroes return home, the narrator repeats the prophecy that the son of the queen and the king shall rule the galaxy.
And now some notes about the film. Originally designed to be purely a Dungeons & Dragons film, it was even originally titled The Dragons of Krull. The beast was not originally an intergalactic monster with an army, but was originally a dragon with an orc lizardman type army at its disposal. But because of the expense of creating such things was too costly and prohibitive for the budget they had to change the antagonist to the beast and went part science fiction instead of what they were originally going to do. They also cut multiple scenes that were too commonly done in other films, including a Medusa-like snake woman scene because it had already been done recently in Clash of the Titans from 1981. Now, at the time, Steve Tessick was hired to do a complete second drafting of the screenplay, which he completed, but it was discarded with only a few scenes from it edited and added to the original screenplay by Stanford Sherman. Some of this material made its way into the novel adaptation by Alan Dean Foster, which was my first exposure to the story because I read the novel before I saw the movie. where it was hinted that Princess Lissa isn't as pure and is slowly being seduced by the beast. In Tisic's version, she succumbs and becomes the antagonist, but to what conclusion I don't know and can't say because I've never seen the screenplay, and of course it was never presented in the novel adaptation because you had to go with what was in the movie.
Right.
So Lysette Anthony, who played Lissa, would in fact state in interviews she preferred the Tessic version of the script and found the versions that the producers wanted her to play to be, quote, a little boring. Ooh.
Yeah, right. She wanted to be a tart.
Yeah. Anyway, director Peter Yates was not a happy camper on the set either. Apparently, he was so frustrated with producers wanting him to make changes at the film, go from the medieval D&D style film that he had signed on for to the half science fiction film it became, that he took a 3-week vacation to the Caribbean just to get away from it all, which the film's production, specifically the special effects and set design screws back over a month and cost production an additional $2 million. Producers, sometimes you need to butt out and let your filmmakers make the damn movie. Just saying. The film was considered a flop because of the poor box office, but it should be noted that this film was never released in theaters in the European or Asian markets for the box office theaters, only the US, Canada, and the UK. Because the producers and Yates were at such opposing attitudes, the producers decided not to pay for any foreign language dubbings or sell any foreign rights for other production companies to make them. That's how petty these people were with each other.
Yeah, that's some petty bullshit right there, and it cost the movie a lot of money.
Yes, it is estimated that the film could have been, had the film been properly internationally released, it could have achieved up to a $77 million box office, and that would have been considered a major success for the era.
Yes.
But instead it was left in language due to the pettiness and egos of parties involved. Which is all to say, well, Chris, I'll let you take it from here.
I was right. I was right. Neener, neener, doo, doo. I've been telling for the Raven for the past week that this movie, as much as I loved it as a kid and still enjoy it now, deserves to be remade. Now, I knew nothing about the history of the film or all the changes that were made or the issues between the director and the producers and such. I was just thinking it was a cool film that could use an update with today's special effects. But given that there's a completely discarded script, hopefully still intact somewhere, where the princess becomes the antagonist, I want to see where that was supposed to go. Not to mention, they never really got around to making a sequel where the sun's supposed to rule the galaxy. But we'll get back to that discussion in a moment. Let's talk about what was actually made.
Oh. Here we go. Did that again, right?
Yeah, I was right. Stick your head in boo boo. Okay, now that I got that off my chest, I just finished watching the film pre-show. It still holds up remarkably well after all these years, where it falters mostly in special effects. Of course, can be forgiven due to the era and the budget. And I told Raven, what this movie gets right, it does really well. It's epic. There were still moments where I was like, oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah, and, and moments where I was like, especially in the spider web, I was like, hurry up, you old fool, hurry up, come on, move. Yeah, and the special effects and some of the makeup, it's a little poor, of course, but I can overlook that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Considering some of the movies that I watch.
Yes.
But yeah, it's still one of my favorite fantasy sci-fi films of the era, and happily rewatched it. And again, Lysette Anthony, hubba hubba. And the Beast, one of the coolest villains ever designed, in my opinion.
Okay, all right. Okay, I finally remembered the film, though I am certain I watched it on HBO at home relatively quickly after it came out. Again, it was sort of crapped down by the production company after its release, so it came out on HBO. I think it actually came out on HBO in the US before it came out in theaters in the UK.
Okay.
Which is kind of shitty, but that's the way it is. Now, I owned the novelization by Alan Dean Foster, which I thought Foster offered up much more context to the story because he probably had access to the Tessic script. And I owned the Atari video game. Remember that?
I do actually. Yeah.
That was a fun game to play for what it was. But looking back on it now, I was actually going to like pull it up so we can watch it. Oof, it's rough.
Yeah, it's Atari. Come on.
Yeah. There was even a Marvel Comics adaptation back when Marvel was actually savvy about those sort of things because they had Jim Shooter and Carol Kalish in the front offices.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a huge fan of this back in the day. And so, yeah, I was looking forward to reading this. But when you had said it needed to be remade for today, I was like, nah. Because this film, for 11-year-old me at the time, was the perfect blend of D&D and Star Frontiers and video games. The Slayers were like the robots from Berserk with sort of warded winged helmet headgear. The Black Fortress teleporting to a different location every day was a genius concept, which followed me on a subconscious level to my own graphic novel series, which has never been released, Spellseeker, where I have a floating city that can teleport itself out of danger when it has enough warning for them to do it. So that's where I guess that's where I came from in my subconscious. Was this movie.
You didn't realize it, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's both sad and funny that this perfect film for my 11-year-old self had such a dramatic and dark behind-the-scenes existence. The story is very well crafted, albeit a little bit one-dimensional and one-note for our heroes. I can see why, looking at this film now, they'd ask for the second draft from Tessic. The acting, I don't know. It's interesting. On one hand, I feel like there are some really earnest, respectable performances, particularly from the core.
The thieves were really well acted, I think.
Yeah, yes, the thieves. So I was trying to think of the quest group really did well. On the other hand, I felt like they did the main actors dirty. The producers did cast Lisette Anthony, but then they redubbed her voice entirely in the film by actress Lindsay Krause, uncredited, of course, because they thought Anthony's voice was too childlike and wanted a more mature-sounding voice. It never dawned on me that this is what had happened, but there are scenes where her real voice is there and it's noticeably higher than the rest of the film. But why? I mean, you're essentially telling me her vocal performance, her acting performance wasn't good enough, right?
Right.
I can understand in retrospect why Anthony would later not have good memories of working on this film. And if you see some of the things she said in the film and interviews, she did not.
I believe I have seen interviews, yeah, and she doesn't have fond memories of this movie.
Yeah, and that's sad because, you know, I
was this her first performance? I mean, was this her like breakout role, right?
I think it was actually, and I think that's another reason why she was so disappointed in the end. She had one more. No, this was her second film.
Okay.
The first film that she was really well known for was.
Was she in Grease too?
No.
Okay.
She was in Ivanhoe in '82 as Lady Rowena, and then there was another film she was in.
Oh, okay.
That was later. I mean, she was in a lot of films, but I mean, it's just kind of it's weird to think. I mean, because she was in Dracula, Dead and Loving It.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was.
You know, as Lucy Lucera. So I mean, she was in a lot of good stuff. But you know, we'll have to do like a retrospective on her. But anyway, you know, they did a little thing wrong with her, and then you have Ken Marshall, who in many ways was rather wooden in his performance, but it was hidden so well by performances of his castmates, particularly Freddie Jones, who was the narrator and Colwyn's wizard mentor, Ynir, Bernard Breeslaw, who played the Cyclops. I could have sworn in my mind that was Robbie Coltrane as the Cyclops. You know?
Yeah, I could see that because they're both kind of big guys. Yeah.
Right, but then I watched the movie. I was like, oh, he wasn't the Cyclops. Okay, who's the Cyclops then? And Francesca Annis, Whitworth Webb, and the whole entourage of outlaws helping the character. That the only time you really see he's really weakened in the role is when he's with Lisette, who herself was limited in what they let her do.
Right.
So it was like they kind of screwed those two really bad, I felt.
Yeah.
And the rest of the cast, while they're still kind of a standard motley crew of ragtag adventurers, you enjoy their performances. There's a lot of side quest scenes, like trying to capture the firemares to ride. The wonderful but tragic backstory of Ynir and the Widow of the Web, with her killing their child, um, and stuff. They were very much doing the traditional Tolkien pacing and structure of the quest, and it works extremely well, in my opinion. But knowing now what the story was supposed to be, with a dragon as the ultimate antagonist, and the reason that the Widow of the Web kills her child was because the child was supposed to be sacrificed to the dragon
Oh, okay.
in place of Princess Lissa.
Oh, well, see now the what actually took place, that makes it just all that much more despicable and more, like, oh my god, like it's a shock moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I can also see why they wanted to change to the beast too. The dragon would have been a little bit too much like Smaug. The Slayers and the Beast would have been more like the Orkami and the Beast and Major Urukai. With casual, non-hardcore Tolkien people, wouldn't necessarily made that connection, but Tolkien fans would have.
Right.
And then when you have Coleman and Lissa's spirits control the fire, you're playing back into the heart of the dragon, which would have made sense. It didn't quite make sense. How did they get? Why were they able to control fire to burn the beast with in the movie? Now you understand why, because that was part of the original plan for the D&D side of it.
Right. And it would have made more sense if Lissa just breathed the fire out of her mouth because of, as you know, most women can breathe fire. So,
yeah. So rewatching it, I was like, how the bloody hell did he even manage to pull this off as well as they did for all the issues that went on in this production? I still enjoy the film for what it is, and it will always hold a soft spot in my heart. But yes, I'll admit you were right. It probably deserves a remake.
Stick your head in doo-doo.
Ah,
And if I remember correctly, didn't this film also not do well because people were like, okay, is it fantasy, is it sci-fi? Like, they didn't know how to take the film.
that was probably true too.
They're like, it's all over the place, and
yeah, but the kids don't care. It was a kids movie.
Yeah, oh my god, this was one of my favorite movies. Every time this movie came on, I was right there watching it.
Yeah. So I mean,
tell me, like I said, tell me like the scene where he's like on the web and the spider's about to get, like, tell me that didn't scare the shit out of you as a kid, right?
I don't remember. To be honest.
Yeah, like I said, I was telling you earlier, I was like, hurry up, you old fool, hurry up, come on, get moving, what are you standing there for?
Yeah. Well, I think it was because he had regrets of losing her too.
Right.
And he was just I don't want to say befuddled, I guess, in a way.
Well, there were two love stories in this. Well, actually, there were three if you count. What's his face's character and his like 7 wives.
Yep. that was Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that too. So it's like interesting kind of thing going on there. But
right.
What do we do for a remake then? Well, my opinion is you get the Steve Tessick script, and the Sherman script. And we get Kevin Van Hook and myself to rewrite it from those sources, with Van Hook directing. We bring back Liam Neeson, but in the role of Ynir because he's so much older now.
Right.
And we would do the dragon, but we keep the beast, but the beast is like a dragon rider, witch king of Angmar, Lord of the Nazgul. And the dragon school. And the Slayers are like Urukai.
Okay. I could do that. Yeah.
And the thing is, we do the thing where Princess Lisa does, in fact, succumb to the witch king, and becomes evil. But Colwyn's love trumps that in the end, and she really, comes back to herself.
Right.
But I don't know. Would that work, you think?
I think it would work. Except wouldn't the beast be more like Sauron?
No, because I want the dragon to be Sauron, more or less.
Oh, so the beast would just be like a minion.
Well, don't call the Witch King of the Nazgul a minion.
He's a minion. Come on.
I mean, yeah, I mean he's still a badass.
He is, but when it comes down to it, he's a minion.
Yeah, I mean, so, but like I said, and then it would be the funny part is, the shapeshifter that they wanted to seduce Cohen with.
Mm-hmm.
She sacrifices herself to kill that, so he has a chance to with Lissa.
There you go. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was things I was thinking about. So anyway,
so let's cast this. Who would play Cohen?
I have no idea.
Come on, think about it. Who?
I don't know. I do not know 20-something actors these days. I don't pay attention to them.
It could be a 30-something actor. How about Chris Hemsworth?
He's too old.
But I think Chris Hemsworth could do it justice. I don't think it's got to be a 20-something actor.
Well, I look at it. How old was Ken Marshall in 1983? He was 33. So I guess you could go a little early 30s. And Chris Hemsworth is still 41.
Yeah, but he could play a 30-year-old.
Mm.
Of course, if we were going to stick with somebody British.
Yeah.
Or we could just piss everybody off and cast Idris Elba.
Oh, stop. Go with new people. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know any 20-something actors either, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you want to do that, wait until we have some time to think about it.
Right. All right. Well, I was just thinking off the top of my head. Like the Cyclops could be who's a giant? Some wrestler.
Oh shoot. These hands guy. Braun Strowman.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because I think the performance is like limited enough to where like an actor could or a wrestler could pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't call for like fantastic acting.
I'm trying to think here.
Lissa would have to be. I would just go with an older cast, like oh, what's her face?
I don't know what's her face.
Mary Poppins. She played Mary Poppins again.
I don't know. I don't watch the.
Emily Blunt. She could be Lissa. They could digitally de-age her.
I don't know, dude.
Well, these are the people that I would want to see.
Yeah.
Or I guess Emma Watson could play Lissa.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I could go with that.
She's young enough, I guess.
She's played a princess before, so.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. It depends on the budget, too.
Oh, the sky's the limit. We got like 150 million.
Oh, come on. No way. Not with Kevin Van Hook directing. No. I mean, I don't think so. It'd be nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Kevin's work, but I mean, I just don't see him getting that kind of support in Hollywood. based
No,
on.
we're gonna kickstart this thing, and it's gonna make $150 million. You know how much support this movie would get if we kickstarted it?
Oh, the thing is, we can't kickstart something we don't know.
I know we don't know the rights, so I don't even know who owns the rights to it. But this
Yeah.
thing would do amazing.
Anyway. Oh, so what are you going to watch next week? Do you have any idea what we're doing next week?
I do not.
How about Jabberwocky?
The horror movie Jabberwocky?
The comedic film from '77, parodying Lewis Carroll's stuff from Terry Gilliam and Michael Palin.
Oh, sure. I'm down with that.
You know, I mean, it's got to be funny, right? It's Gilliam
Right.
and Palin. You know?
Yeah. Terry Gilliam, yeah. Absolutely. Michael Palin, yeah. I'm down for that.
Okay.
So apparently Columbia Pictures still owns the rights
Okay.
outside the US.
Hmm.
Oh no, Columbia Pictures owns the rights to the United States. Outside the US, the rights were held by various distributors like Columbia EMI, Warner, Fox Columbia,
Yeah.
bunch of Columbias, and Sony. So
Well, so they could unify and figure it out anyway.
they absolutely could.
Yeah. So yeah, but I don't know. We have to get a hold of Kevin and sit down and have a conversation about that.
Right?
That would be interesting to see. But
Yes, it would.
you know, I mean, I could see Hemsworth and a few others in the supporting cast, but I really would like to see somebody fresh and young in the role of Cohen and Lissa.
How about oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. Who's the wheelchair scientist that died? Stephen Hawking.
Yeah. What about him?
How about
You're thinking Eddie Redmayne, aren't you?
yes, Eddie Redmayne?
I think he's 40 something. I could be wrong, but they don't ever want to tell me how old people are.
Well, fine, then we're just gonna get frickin' Daniel Radcliffe to do it.
No, we're not.
We'll have a whole Harry Potter because that's the only frickin' British film that our American asses know. So we're just gonna bring back the entire Harry Potter cast and cast them in Krull.
No, we're not.
If Robbie Coltrane wasn't dead, he could do it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting to think. Because the first person that came to my mind, believe it or not, was James Vanderbeek.
Really?
And, yeah.
But isn't he like balding and like?
That's what I'm saying. He's old now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what he looks like nowadays per se, but
Pretty rough as far as I know.
He's 48 now. I mean, like I say, you know.
Yeah. Everybody's old, man.
Yeah. But and of course he's got cancer on top of it, so that's another problem.
Oh, he does. I did not know that.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why he's looking rough.
That could be, yeah.
But because he didn't look that bad a few years ago. But
Well, one of these nights we're going to have a casting of Krull, recasting of Krull.
Okay, we'll think about it, and a few other movies while we're at it.
Right.
All right. So anyway, next week, Jabberwocky, and it didn't do the other stuff, of course. So give me a second. It didn't want to do what it's supposed to do. It's always the way it happens, right?
Right.
Right.
That is Hazel having a disagreement with the cat.
Aha. So anyway, if you've watched other shows, you know that we would really appreciate it if you guys mentioned some comics or movies that you want us to review. Contact me at lewis.brightraven at Facebook or on Twitter at lewisbrightraven, brightrave2 rather. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/brightraven and more of Chris's at deviantart.com/fatboy73. You can watch it, Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven exclusively on YouTube. And if you can't get a hold of me on social media, try emailing me at quothravenlbr72@gmail.com. If I don't answer there, try lewisbrightraven at yahoo.com. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be talking, or I should say, Chris and David Campiti are going to be talking about distribution in comics. And I know he's got Phil Russert from the new Philbo distribution group.
And you just plan on being on the show.
Huh?
You just plan on being on the show.
Oh, okay. You want me to be there. All right.
Yes.
Have we had a chance to get a hold of Milton Greep yet?
He has not contacted me. I contacted him again. Cannot get a hold of the guy. So
okay, fair enough. So I will. That's 1:00 tomorrow on YouTube. Glasshouse Throwing Stones, and again, that's best thing I can do is look up Glasshouse Throwing Stones, right?
Oh, put a link.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't do links in the comments. So
yeah, well, send it to me in the private chat. Is it not letting you do that either?
hold on. Okay, let's see.
His computer's being fussy too.
There we go. Yeah, it just takes a minute there.
Come on. Thank you. And there's the link to the Glasshouse channel.
Perfect. All right, yeah. So it'll be an interesting discussion tomorrow. We're going to be discussing all things distribution and the state of the industry and what's going on with the new distributors that are popping up and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. All right. That means I gotta try and get some sleep again. Alrighty, man. So that's that. Next week, John informed me that he's not going to be here for any of the shows because he's got his Moana junior play that he's musical director for.
He's musically directing 2 different musicals at the same time.
Yep. So he's got that. And so
he is a busy boy.
Yes, he is. So he won't be available. And we're just going to keep trying to do other things as well. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Quoth the Raven. Nevermore.
Nevermore.